Hola, ¿cómo estás? How are you? I hope you're well. We are into the first week of our Get Through the Holidays Without Losing It series. And I'm so glad that you joined me today. I am going to be talking about going from being overwhelmed to feeling empowered. And I'm also going to share my holiday reset plan. I'm going to get to it with you in just one moment. Hi there, what's up? It's Marcelin, and I'm so glad, as I said before, that you've joined me today for Stress Talk Live. This is the place where we help women over 40 to live healthier lives through strategic stress management and solution focused self care. So, what's going on in your life? What's happening? We're into the holiday season, and what's going on? Anything? Well, I celebrate a birthday this week. And yeah, birthday week. It's my birthday. I don't know how I feel about it. Isn't that something? You don't know how you feel about a birthday? Yeah, this is I'm gonna celebrate it. That's for sure. I am definitely celebrating it. Because I will have gone I will have orbited the sun one more time. And that's something to be grateful for. Yeah. So hopefully you will celebrate my birthday week with me. Okay? Yeah. Do that. Do that for me. Celebrate it with me. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about going from overwhelmed to empowered. And I'm going to share my holiday reset routine with you. So I'm really kind of excited. I have all of these banners over here, and um, I am trying to figure out what I'm doing. So if I'm fumbling over here, it's because I'm trying to figure it out. Hi, Kayla. It's good to see you. Glad you're here. I'm not going to belabor anything, so I might be typing because I always like to put banners up to talk about, to show what I'm talking about. Um, but I was thinking about this because in the past, I've, I've tried to make a wonderful holiday for my family. And it's instead of focusing on, well, let me put it this way, I had to learn to focus on the things that were really important instead of the things like the decorations and the gifts and the food. Um, I had to do something a little bit differently, right? And so I'm going to be sharing with you how I learned to reset, how I learned to change what I was doing so that I could enjoy the holidays and also ensure that my family too was enjoying the holidays as well. And so I'm going to get into it. First, I'm going to start by talking about the why. Why is it important to um, reset during the holidays? And then I'm going to talk about how it's important to redefine your holidays, right? Redefine how you look at them. And then finally, I'm going to share my 4-step process to reset. And these will be practical strategies that you can use to reset your holidays again so that you can enjoy them and so that your family can enjoy them as well. So let's get to it, okay? Yeah, I just finished putting these new banners in it. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, got it. Okay, let's get started. Um, First, hi, cool kid. I'm so glad you all dropped little comments in the comment section. Hi, good to see you. Glad you're here with me. Let's get this party rolling, okay? All right. So, what I'm talking about is going from overwhelmed to being empowered during the holidays. Hey, what's up? What's up, y'all? Yay! What's up? It's good to see you. What's it's things are just happening. Things are just happening. Let's talk about what we're talking about though. Okay. First, I want to talk about what okay, I want to talk about what why we need to reset. Why do we need to reset? As we're talking about going from overwhelmed to empowered. Well, if you're a woman, and if especially women who are over 40, it's very it's sometimes that we don't understand that when we are experiencing extreme stress, we often think that it's only in our mind. It's a failure on our part. We're not doing something right. But there's a lot of physiology that goes into stress. Stress is actually a physical reaction to an unspecified stimulus. So when we are experiencing the stress response, we are actually physically experiencing it. There's a biology to it. And I talked about it last week, talked about how our sympathetic nervous system goes into gear and how our parasympathetic nervous system brings us back down. Well, when you're a woman over 40, you also have other aspects to think about. You also have to consider your hormones, right? One of the things that we don't always understand is that estrogen manages our cortisol levels. And cortisol is one of the main stress hormones in our bodies. So when our estrogen levels fluctuate or when they drop, that increases our irritability, it increases our brain fog, it increases that anxiety that we feel or experience that we can't understand, and it causes us to experience stress. And that's one of the reasons why we have to be very aware of why we experience such extreme stress when we are going through the holidays. If you're a working woman, if you are a woman who manages a household, who has a family, you know that there's a lot of stress involved with that, right? But with the holidays, there are some also additional external stressors that we have to manage. Another thing that influences our stress levels is another thing that influences our stress levels is if you are in the sandwich generation. In the sandwich generation, basically are men and women who fall between the ages of 40 and 50. These are people who, again, may have children, but they also have aging parents who they have to um, help or assist. And because of that, it's like they're sandwiched. They're being squeezed on both sides, right? They're having to juggle a lot of things. I've been, I am a part of that sandwich generation. Um, Although our daughters are now adults and they're on their own, they, of course, still talk to us and get advice from us. But I also have an aging parent who I assist when she doesn't understand things. She doesn't know anything about the internet. She doesn't want to have to deal with that. She still writes checks, you all. She's still writing checks. She doesn't pay online. So there are a lot of things that I have to help her with. When our children were younger, I was doing a lot of that. My husband was doing a lot of that with his parents. We were raising our kids and helping our parents. So the sandwich generation has to navigate that, which causes additional stress. What we want to remember is that we want to have self compassion. And this is something that I shared with you last week. We have to be kind to ourselves, and we have to want to alleviate our own suffering. And that's what self compassion is. So, I talked about redefining, permission to redefine. Redefine how you're looking at the holidays. So, in the other room, um, what's on TV is a Hallmark movie. And if you know anything about Hallmark, Hallmark has these wonderful movies where um, there's always a happy ending and everybody looks beautiful. The holidays are great and it's just fabulous, right? Well, life is not like a Hallmark movie. Nothing is perfect. We think about Hallmark, we think about Courier and Ives greeting cards and how beautiful the holidays are supposed to be. But it doesn't always work that way. Social media also makes us think that everything is perfect, right? And people on social media can be so mean. They don't know you, but they just want to levy insults because why? Who knows? Um, Probably they're struggling themselves. Why levy an insult when you don't even know a person or know anything about them? But let's move on. But there's social media that also contributes to this expectation of perfection. And then we have traditions. If you have a family tradition that you want to carry on and you remember how your parents did it or your grandparents did it, and to you it was perfect, in your eyes, you're thinking back, um, in as an adult, you're thinking back to how it was when you were a child and you thought it was perfect and you want to replicate that. So tradition also increases our stress and it also makes us think about perfection and being perfect. Then there's decorations. You see all the decorations in the stores and you see them in the magazines and you see all the pictures on TV and you see them on social media. Yeah, there's just so much. And it all makes us feel as if we do not meet the standard that we see, we are imperfect. Well, here's the thing. Nobody and nothing is perfect. And so, what we want to do, and what I want to encourage you to do, is to break up with the expectations. Just break up with the expectations. The expectations are often standards that cause us to feel overwhelmed and overwhelmed by stress. So, here's a way we can do that: just simplify, make it simple, keep it simple, right? KISS, keep it simple, somebody. Keep it simple. We don't have to do any elaborate anything, any elaborate cooking. You don't have to have a 5-course meal if 2 courses will do. You don't have to have 6, 7, 8 different types of protein if 1 or 2 will do. You don't have to have lots of sides if just a couple will do. Will everybody eat all of that? Maybe, maybe not. Choose wisely. You can choose your favorite things. What's your favorite things? What are the favorite things that your family holds dear? Focus on those things without having to do all of the other. Also, ask yourself this question: is this going to add to my joy during the holidays or will it add to my stress? Before you do anything, ask yourself that. Will it add to my joy or will it add to my stress? Also, give yourself permission to modify or change things. You can also give yourself permission to let go completely. You don't have to do everything, just let it go. And then finally, make a conscious choice about what is going to earn a place in your limited time that is precious, because time is precious. What are you going to allow to be in your space? What are you going to spend your time on during the holidays? Okay. So let's talk about these practical steps. I want to share with you my 4-part holiday reset. Okay. Let's do some practical steps. Yay! You ready? Here they go. Number 1, do some micro resets. This is something that I talk about in my 7-day stress reset guide. And this is a free download on my YouTube channel, ML Bailey Consultants. At ML Bailey Consultants, you can get this for free. I hope you would choose to subscribe, but if not, you can still download it. But I talk about micro resets. They're very simple. They're like 5-minute things that you can do to reset your stress level. And they help to trigger the relaxation response. I talked about the stress response. These resets trigger the relaxation response. One you can do is just slow exhale breathing. That's where you breathe in 4 counts, you hold it for 4, and then you exhale for 8. It's very simple. Breathing is the number one best way to reset your stress response and go into your relaxation response. So you can do that 4-4-8 breathing. Breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, and then breathe out for 8. When you exhale, it initiates your parasympathetic nervous system. It tells your nervous system that you are safe. Whenever you exhale, it tells your nervous system that you are safe. And that initiates the relaxation response. So in addition to slow exhale breathing, you can also do a 60-second body scan. You can do that anywhere. You can do it while you're sitting at your desk. I can do it right now. You can do it when you're in the grocery store. You can do it when you're in a long line waiting. The body scan is very simple. You can start at the top of your head and go down, or you can start with your toes and move up. What you do is put your attention and your awareness on a specific part of your body, let's say your toes, and then you move up and you just take note of any sensation or feeling you are experiencing in that part of your body at that moment. The goal is not to change the feeling or the experience. The goal is not to change what you're feeling in that part. It's just to notice. You just want to notice, what are you experiencing? Okay. Then another very simple thing to do is just step outside. Just go outside and experience nature. If you're in a city and you work in a downtown area where there are only buildings, you can still go outside. Go outside and experience the air on your body. Go outside and look up. Look at the sky. Is it cloudy? Is it partly cloudy? Is it blue? Is it gray? Are there planes flying through it? Go outside and just notice. If you're in a cold climate, because where I live, it's not cold right now, but if you're living in a cold climate, go outside and experience the cool temperature on your face. It's very stimulating. Getting out and experiencing the fresh air is very stimulating. Those are micro resets, and they're very easy to try. The second step, practical step, is to, I call it the boundary builder. Um, I talked in last week's live stream, I talked about how it's difficult to say no. Well, I'd like for you to practice saying no. Just say it. Just say no. Why? Because a lot of us are conditioned to be helpers. We're conditioned to be accommodators. We accommodate other people's wants and wishes. And we don't like to say no because we want to be accepted, right? But it is important to say no because no helps us to preserve our energy. Just think of it as an energy preservation tool. Okay? I mean, think about it. You probably have several can openers in your home. We have an automatic can opener that runs by battery. We used to have an electric can opener, but we also have the handheld manual can opener. We don't use that handheld can opener because it's hard and it takes a lot of time. We use the easy one with the battery. So we use it because it preserves our energy. When we use that, it preserves our energy. No is a energy preserving tool, an energy preservation tool, and you should use it because during the holidays, enjoying the holidays, getting through the holidays takes a lot of energy. And then another boundary builder is, again, to ask yourself a question. Is this important to me? Why is it important to me? And what will I give up to make space for it? That's similar to the other question that I suggested that you ask. But it's an important question. Is this activity important? Why is it important? And what will I have to give up to make space for that? That's a very clear way to set boundaries and to preserve energy. But it also helps you to focus on those things that are important and valued and meaningful to you. Okay. All right. So we've talked about micro resets. We've talked about boundary builders. Here's another practical step that you can do. Delegate and elevate. Delegate and elevate. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, so are you a type of person who likes to be in control, and you think that nothing things have to be done a certain way, and if they're not done the way that you want them, then it's not right, and you're not satisfied? And does that lead you to do everything around the holidays? Well, if that is the case, then you're heading towards burnout. Being the martyr, or the person who sacrifices everything to make sure everything is great around the holidays, it just leads you to burnout. Who wants to be burnt out during the holidays? Nobody. Nobody. So, what you can do when you delegate and elevate is ask for help. There is nothing wrong with asking for help. Good leaders Effective leaders ask for help. Effective leaders delegate. Effective leaders who ask for help and delegate have people who will follow them and have people who trust them. So ask for help. And not only ask for it, require it. Require that your family helps you to prepare for the holidays. Here's a way you can do that. Make a list of all of the tasks and things that you have to do. And once you make that list, then think about what's on that list that other people can help with. What other things can people do? And when I started thinking about this, I started chuckling to myself because I thought about being a kid and how my parents would ask us to wrap gifts, not our own gifts, not our gifts, but gifts for them, gifts that they had gotten each other, and gifts for other family members. They would ask us to do that. We thought it was the biggest deal because we got to wrap presents, right? I didn't realize that they were just saving themselves. they were delegating, right? They were delegating and then they were elevating us because they were giving us an opportunity to participate in the planning. Decorating the tree. Always. I always was able to help decorate the tree. And when I got older, I decorated the tree, right? As a teenager, I was decorating the tree. Well, I loved it. Why not? With our children, they helped when they were younger. They got to hang up the ornaments that they made in school. And then as they got older, they didn't want to decorate the tree. I still decorate the tree, but it's one of the things that I really enjoy. So, again, delegate and elevate. When you delegate, you offer your family members and others an opportunity to participate. You give them an opportunity to be a part of the planning. And think about the meaningful memories that you can create by doing so. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for your family and your family members. Now, here is the fourth practical step that I'd like to share with you. Nourish. Nourish, meaning make sure the things that you're eating are healthy and nourishing. It is very easy to um, get snacks that are high in sugar, high in salt, because they're so good, aren't they? They're delicious, but they may not be good for us. So when you are going through the holidays during this time, make sure that you are doing things that take care of your body. And the following things that take care of your body are making sure you're eating healthily, making sure getting you're combining your foods so that the nourishment and the nutrients are getting into your system. That's very important, especially for women over 40 who may be perimenopausal or going through menopause. We are we have to make sure that our blood sugar levels are even, that they don't fluctuate a lot, because that can trigger mood swings. It can also cause us to feel extremely tired, fatigued, and it can cause additional cravings. So we want to make sure that we're eating well. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, but I've been working with one for 3 years. Been working with an exceptional nutritionist for 3 years. And one of the things that she's always telling me is to make sure I'm getting my protein, make sure I'm combining protein with a healthy fat, that I'm making sure that I'm getting my veggies, my fruit, eating lean protein, and making sure I'm drinking lots of water. So those are the tips that she has shared with me over the past 3 years. In addition to eating well, you also want to make sure that you're moving. And you may not want to do a HIIT class, right? High intensity um, interval training class, but getting out and going for a walk, a 20-minute walk, is just as important and just as healthy as that HIIT class, right? Do some yoga. Make sure you're stretching. Make sure you're using your muscles and your body. Get some movement in. Okay. Also, sleep. Are you sleeping well? Are you pulling all nighters during the holidays? Are you staying up making sure that turkey doesn't burn or dry out in the oven? Sleep. Sleep is so important. When we sleep, our body has the opportunity to repair itself. It repairs itself during sleep. We are able to renew our mind. So we want to make sure that we are practicing good sleep hygiene. That's really important. You want to make sure that you have a consistent bedtime, and you also want to incorporate a bedtime routine that helps you to fall asleep. And we'll talk a little bit more about sleep during our Get Through the Holidays Without Losing It series. So, what have we been talking about during this past 30 minutes? We are talking about going from overwhelmed to empowered. And I've also shared my holiday reset routine. Whew, great. I'm not too far over time. I'm so glad that you joined me. I want to remind you to get your free 7-day reset, stress reset guide download. You can find it on the ML Bailey Consultants YouTube channel. Again, it's free. Again, I would hope that you subscribe, that you like the content so much that you subscribe to the channel. But you can get the download anyway, even if you don't subscribe. But I also want to invite you to join me on Sundays at 7 p.m. at the same time. Again, subscribe, hit that like button if you liked what you saw. Download your 7-day stress reset guide. I'll see you next time. I'm Marcelin Bailey, and as always, take good care.